What's up, Tracy?
How do my husband and I tell his parents, my in-laws, that we're not going to have anything to do with my brother-in-law, who is soon to be released from prison, without it sounding like like a declaration of war? Like you have to pick a side.
I don't know. I don't know that you can. It sounds like you've declared war and you've picked a side.
Well, no, we don't want them to feel like they have to pick a side, but we want to make it clear that, like, we're not going to have anything to do with him. And so, like, he's not invited to our house. We won't be attending gatherings that he's at, but we're happy to be, flexible if they're going to do things together. We're not going to say, well, Christmas dinner is at our house at noon, be there or don't.
What did this guy do? That's irredeemable.
So he's in prison for committing burglaries.
Okay.
But leading up to that, he had stolen over $50,000 from my in-laws. That's their issue.
Yeah.
Our issue is that while he's been in prison, he has sent hundreds of letters to my in-laws' house where we used to live, talking about all kinds of crazy and violent things, including fratricide. And he also thinks that my 9-year-old stepdaughter, my husband's daughter, is his spirit child, and he is spiritually her father.
Whoa.
And that, combined with the violent letters, makes
so
we're not willing to risk her or my husband.
Yeah. So are your in-laws planning on welcoming him back with open arms, or are they going to get a restraining order the moment he gets out of jail?
I mean, my mother-in-law just tried to buy a house for him that didn't pass the home plan. So he's not actually going to be released. He was scheduled to be released this coming Saturday.
Yeah.
But because it didn't pass the home plan, he's not coming. But now we're like, okay, we need to have this conversation because, I mean, the main issue is really my stepdaughter, because I'll die before I let him near her.
So let's step back from him, because this is supercharged. Okay, this is really heavy. Let's back it up and just say that your in-laws asked you to go camping in the Arizona desert in August as a family. Okay. And they said, hey, this is our jam. This is what we do. You just married into this family, little lady. We all go camping in Arizona in August. And it's hot, hot. And we get sunburn. It's kind of a family tradition. In fact, we put little stickers on our bodies and we get sunburned all around them. We're just weirdos, right? And
my family did that. That's not weird.
Just for the record, Tracy, it's super weird, but it's not. It's not weird at all. But you didn't know about this. You married him, and then all of a sudden, one night, y'all are laying in your bed, and the lights are off, and you just say, "Hey, honey," and he's like, "Yeah, babe," and you say, "There's no chance I'm going camping in Arizona. None, zero." And he starts laughing, and he's like, "I was waiting for you to say that. I get that." And then you have to have that conversation with his in-laws. And it's just as simple as, hey, we love you guys. We're not going to go camping this year, but we can't wait to see you at the holidays. And the more you try to explain, dramatize, give reasons, examples on the back end, the more complicated and messy it gets. And so that's not a charge situation. It could become one depending on how cool or lame your in-laws are, but it is what it is. When it comes to this is somebody who's demonstrated to you in your eyes that they're not safe, that they don't intend on being safe. They haven't been safe in the past. They're not going to be safe in the future. And so it's just a very simple, we will not be communicating with this person in any shape, form, or fashion in any way. And we may even pursue a restraining order when they get out of jail. We don't want them near us, near our daughter, and then we're going to go happily about our lives. If you choose to have them in their life, great. We will not be there. And there's just a period at the end of that sentence said in a matter-of-fact way, not a go-to-war way, not an angry way, but just a way like, this is what's going to happen, as though the sky is blue and our grass is somewhat green. And any sort of drama on the back end is not yours. You cannot be responsible for how other people experience your boundaries. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it sucks. It's not you didn't cause it, but now it's in your lap and you've got to deal with it, right?
Right.
Somebody rang your doorbell.
We're really close, and I guess I worry that like this is definitely going to be a barrier to that.
If your in-laws choose for it to be, it will be. That doesn't mean you're not doing the right thing. It doesn't mean that it doesn't change over time. It doesn't mean that 4 years later, 3 years from now, 2 years from now, this guy's out and he's cool and he's doing his work and doing his thing and taking his whatever he's got to be doing, and y'all make some concessions and changes. But if y'all don't feel safe, if you don't feel comfortable, this is an easy situation, an easy boundary to draw. This isn't like, hey, I don't like sleeping outside. This isn't like I don't want to drive halfway across the country.
I mean, I guess it's a simple boundary to draw. It's not an easy boundary to draw because, like, it's just like, it's simple, like it's straightforward, and I get that. I guess I was, hoping like, oh, he's really good at stuff. Maybe he'll have something to say that won't upset people, and they'll just be like, oh yeah, I totally get your viewpoint.
There is,
and that's
when it comes to somebody who has lost perspective with one of their kids, there is no rational conversation you can have. Straightforward, as short as possible, and then you separate. That's it. So whenever you're bringing somebody in to let them go, to fire them from their job, that should be a very, very short conversation. And we're going to let you go in a week or two. We'll circle back and you can meet with HR to get the specifics. But we've chosen at this time to let you go.
If you would ever let me do that job.
Well,
I'm so bad at it.
If you've got, it's the kindest, think about it ripping a Band-Aid off. Or a surgeon, right? Do you want the surgeon to take the blunt instrument and just drag it across your poor little leg? No. You want them to use the sharpest item they've got, the smallest, most precise tool, and they want to make a quick cut, a concise cut, and get it done, right? Same thing here. It cannot be a surprise to your in-laws. It can't be, unless they've just become delusional too. And that does happen, right? When you're I met with parents like that, with students of mine that were that way. But
we had a come to Jesus talk 2 Christmases ago.
Okay.
Because I say it's my in-laws, but it's my mother-in-law.
Okay.
My father-in-law, if you take him aside, he is totally against it, but
then he needs to stand up too for the safety of his family. And he's choosing not to. So he's choosing not to protect his family. Yeah.
And my husband has 2 other brothers, and vocally they're, also like, no, he can't be back into our lives unless he's willing to go through all of the hoops of probation and parole and, get on medication and get help, because clearly what's in those letters, like, he cannot be of sound mind.
Yeah.
And I am sympathetic to that.
You're super lucky here. So join forces together. Do that meeting together. Make sure everybody's on the same page. Maybe even write a letter. And if you want to be really straightforward and bold, send him a letter in jail. That because of your behavior, because of your letters, you're not going to be welcome at our home until you do the following X, Y, and Z. Let him know up front so we can hold this letter. We love you. We wish the best for you. We can't help you at this time. And the things that you're writing in these letters are making us uncomfortable for the protection of our family. You don't have to do that. You can. You can write that letter to your mom or your mother-in-law, knowing that she's probably going to show it to him, right? But here's the thing. There is no shortcut to a hard conversation. Say it. Be clear, concise, know exactly what you want to say, and then get out and bail, right? It's as straightforward as humanly possible. And there is no easy way to do it. There's no way that it isn't uncomfortable. The quicker and cleaner that cut, the quicker and cleaner it can heal, right? I just Never even thought of that surgery analogy till just now, and I think it works pretty good. All right, let's take one more call. Tracy, thank you for that call. It sucks. I do want to know how the conversation goes, though. If you will have that conversation with your in-laws, draw that line. You're going to feel weight leave your shoulders. We've done it. This is it. You are not going to feel good when he gets out of jail. You're not. Unless you get some sort of police protection or some sort of come to Jesus conversation, maybe between your husband and him in the jail before you leave, some sort of closure conversation. But chances are this is going to be something that's going to haunt your family for the future, and y'all going to have to be really clear on your boundaries and really direct.